back to our YouTube channel. It's super early, and I say it's super early, it's like 8 o'clock, which may not be super early to some of you guys, but I had to take Matt to the airport at like 5:30 this morning, so I've been awake for a while. The weather is so gloomy and stormy today. So if you don't know, we went to the Bahamas this week and we got back 2 days ago. Right before we left for the Bahamas, I actually purchased baby girl a dresser off of Facebook Marketplace, and I'm so obsessed with it. I'll show you later today when the light hopefully comes out, but it needs to be cleaned up. Then I'll start like doing measurements and maybe getting little bins to go inside to keep things organized and separated, because it is like 2 smaller drawers and then 2 large drawers. So I feel like I would want to have some categories in there also to help Matt put things away in the right place, so we are on the same page with where things are at. I never even explained like where he went. I just like dropped him off at the airport and that was that. Matt is a huge Cowboys fan. Playoff game today in Dallas and he was able to go. I'll be flying solo for the next 24 hours, so I figured I'd do a little vlog and spend the day with me. I don't know why, but I've had it in my brain even when I found out I was pregnant, and up until now, like I've had it, this feeling that she's going to come at like 38 weeks. Obviously we'll just play it by ear and go with the flow, but I don't know, I've just had this weird feeling that she's going to be here around 38 weeks. You have like that oh crap moment of like, that's not very far away, I don't have anything, and we're still house hunting, and then I go down my spiral of oh crap. It'll all work out, it'll all be okay. Other than the baby stuff, the little baby moon that we went on to the Bahamas was so fun. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the greatest, but we still had a lot of fun regardless. We stayed at the Cove Resort at Atlantis, and it was a really fun time. It was just nice to spend some time with Matt and do some things that like were new to us and fun. We had a lot of laughs and made a lot of memories, so I would say that's a success. What else? I'll insert some clips that I took from our little Bahamas trip. I didn't really take a lot of photos or videos of stuff. I was kind of off my phone, but I'll share some tidbits of things that we did, like maybe some of the aquarium and marine animals that they had out, just little things like that. The funny thing is the resort has all these water slides. I obviously can't do them because I'm pregnant, but it was just so fun watching Matt do them. I don't know why. It would obviously be really fun to do it with him, but it was still fun regardless. So good. I made this in my last YouTube video. Get the day started, and I'll probably check in with you guys a little bit later. Wow, it's still so gloomy at 11 in the morning. I'm so sorry about the lighting. It's kind of like dim and moody, but we're just gonna roll with it. So I like knew I had to go see this house today. They have an open house going on today. I knew it was on my schedule, and it just like slipped my mind the past like hour and a half until I looked at my calendar again, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to do that. So I'm actually going to eat a little bit of a small early lunch just so that I'm not starving when I go. When we get closer to her due date, and maybe even like next month, I think I'm going to start venturing into doing the freezer postpartum meals, like prepping meals and just putting them in the freezer to have for postpartum purposes only. So I'm just going to work with what I have right now. I'm really hoping that we can get into a house before she's born. I don't think that's going to be possible, but if by some miracle we can, then that might give us a little bit more flexibility in terms of how much we can freeze and do ahead of time. House hunting is so annoying. Anyway, I'm going to eat few dumplings, and then we'll get this show on the road. The air fryer was a really good idea. I got this recipe off of a TikTok. What's her account? Her user on TikTok is Fit Green Mind. Highly recommend. I think this will hold me over. This is my first time setting up the camera in Matt's car, so kind of different for me. Anyway, I just got done with that open house and I think it's a pass. So the reason that we liked it so much was because of the backyard space, and we knew we would have to do a lot of work to it on the inside, and we were like, well, it's kind of worth it to do all that work if the backyard is what we want it to be. But this is the part of the house hunting process that is just so frustrating, is the listing photos. Like, I totally understand wanting to get the best angles and really showcase the space, but it gets to the point where like sometimes it's just deceptive. When it's so deceptive, it's just kind of frustrating because you waste so much time like thinking about the listing and then going to see it, and then you're just like, what the heck is this space, you know? I just wish the photos were more realistic so that we can make better decisions. The backyard wasn't terrible, but they crammed so much into it that there really wasn't any yard space left. I think it's a pass. And on my way there, I went the wrong way. Like, I took a wrong turn and it took me an extra like 25 minutes to get there, so I was really not happy. Let's see what Matt has to say. Let's go to Target. I had so much like, what's the word? Gusto. When I got home, I was like, I'm going to clean the cars. I'm going to get the insides of these cars completely clean. I'm going to meal prep some things. And now I'm just tired. The weather is still really gray and blah. But let's do a little Target haul. Now, a little disclaimer. This pregnancy, I'm trying to wear a lot of the clothes that I already have. I don't like purchasing things that I know I'm not going to be using for a really long time and get a lot of use out of. But here's like my wardrobe situation because it's kind of tough. Matt and I got married right after I graduated college. I moved across the country for us to move in together, so I brought very downsized version of my closet to move in since I was just filling up my car and going. So I just brought a bunch of my college clothes, which was fine. And then we moved to Hawaii. So again, we downsized like our wardrobes, went to Hawaii. And living in Hawaii is like, you just wear a lot of swimsuits and shorts, and it's normal to wear like your bikini as a top. And then when we moved from Hawaii to here now, we really downsized our wardrobes. I think you would be really shocked with the amount of clothes in our closet. I mean, I could show you, hold on. It's not like overflowing with clothes. I don't even think this is organized. It's not too bad. Like, I have some shorts in here. And these are like my t-shirts and sports bras. And I'm pretty sure there's no clothing in here. Matt uses it for like electronics. And then this is our closet. This is both Matt and I's clothing. We do have this little section of like folded clothes, but this is really about what we wear. So half of this is mine in the back and the other half is his in the front. Anyway, so we each don't have very large wardrobes, and I haven't really had a chance to like put together a solid wardrobe, and I'm trying to be really intentional with what I do buy and just like the style I want to have going forward, because I never really had one before. Like, we were just going to the beach. I worked in scrubs. I'm trying to purchase things to like build a capsule wardrobe, and the things that I'm purchasing I want to be able to like wear now but also wear postpartum. I do too much talking. I have this little over-the-shoulder bag because the only other purse I have is this giant black one that is literally 8 years old. I really try to not be impulsive, and I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was like, if you could get $1 back for every time you used something you bought, would it be worth it? And I think about that all the time. I had a pair of like cream color sweats, and I do have like my bodysuits and things that I can wear, and then this can go under the belly. Last thing I got was just this little simple like muscle tank top. Something that I've seen a lot of people talk about, like when we're thinking about capsule wardrobes, is like picking a color palette. So that's what I'm trying to hone in on. I just think about the colors I gravitate towards now that I feel my best in, but also colors that like match each other. My haul is basically just cleaning supplies. We got all the goods. One step at a time. Ooh, hello. Let's get started on something before I fall asleep. And that one. Yeah, it needs to be dusted on the inside. Ugh. That is the side I haven't done yet. And this is the side that I just finished. There's so much dust and grime that was underneath the drawer. But I think this is honestly the worst of it. Like the rest of the piece is honestly really well kept and clean. Alright, this took me much longer than I thought it was going to. I am so tired, but I'm happy that it's actually done. But it's now 6:30. That took me so long to do. And sitting on the floor, just, ugh, it's terrible. And I'm not feeling very motivated to cook for just myself. But we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to be adventurous and try making vegan, like chicken wings. This recipe I saw on TikTok from Fit Green Mind, the same girl that I made the dumpling recipe from. So I'm gonna try her vegan chicken wings. What's 192 plus 75?
Here, I'll do my phone here. So it's accurate.
I forgot to tear the scale and I'm just like distracted.
What was it?
192 plus 75.
The pressure.
I could have done this by hand, but what is it?
267.
267, okay. We can do that. I've decided to double the recipe. I made the marinade, which I doubled as well. And now we just gotta add in the water. Alright, so far so good. This is what the dough ended up looking like. I added a few more spices and just the smallest glug of steak sauce. But you don't want to overmix anything with Vital Wheat gluten in it, or else it'll just get really chewy. And that's not fun to eat. So far it hasn't been super hard to clean. Previous recipes that I've tried with Vital Wheat gluten have just been mainly the Vital Wheat gluten. So I don't know if the fact that this has chickpea flour and tofu in it, if it's just, I don't know, different and easier to clean, but so far so good. I'm just trying to like squish it into like a burger in a way. All right, we got them in there. They have to boil in here for about 15 minutes. So while those are in there, I think I'm going to make some chocolate cupcakes. I wish I had time-lapsed it because they puffed up so much. So I'm just going to skim these off of the broth and put them in our marinade for a little bit. They're gonna be so good. Reminds me of a chicken patty. Right? And we got these guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little spend the day with me vlog, even though I feel it wasn't very exciting, but this is just my life. It's pretty boring, but thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.